Hi everyone, welcome to Puddinwood Avenue. My name is Bindi. So today I want to show you how to do the star stitch. Now there's a few things about this stitch that are a bit not quite what you do when you crochet, but it's so worth it. The end result is just beautiful. So today I'm going to use some Lion Brand Mandala Ombre yarn. I love this stuff. It's so soft and squishy. It's lovely to work with. It is 150 grams or 315 meters. It's a medium weight worsted weight number 4 or an Aran weight, or if you're in Australia it's a 10 ply yarn. I am getting to learn to do that. It's recommending a 5.5 millimeter hook size. It is, I'm fairly certain, yes, 100% acrylic. It is machine washable and dryable, which is a great thing. This is colorway number 205, and it is called Tranquil. It is a lovely, lovely, lovely colorway. I'm actually making a boho vest out of this same colorway at the moment. Nard, you right, love? There are over 8,000 free patterns if you go onto the Lion Brand website. So worth looking at. So lionbrand.com. They're a great company. I love all of their products that I've worked with. So go on and have a look. They're great. Okay, I'm also going to use my Furls hook today. This is Furls Odyssey hook. It's one of my favorites. It's great ergonomically so that it doesn't hurt your hand if you've got any sort of arthritis or pain. And I am going to start this stitch. So what we're going to do is let me tell you a couple of things first. Alright, one of the things about this particular stitch is people find it really difficult to keep their edges straight. So the trick to that is, all you need to do is work your last stitch into the turning chain, which is a big no-no. You don't do that. But to keep your edges straight on this particular one, that's what we're going to do. That's going to keep our edges straight. The bonus about this is there is no number multiple that you have to work in, except it needs to be an even number to start with. So I'm just going to do, I don't know, maybe 20 chain to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, my yarn's balls on the yarn, 14, oh my gosh, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, Mandala doesn't normally split very easily, but these Furls hooks, unless you're used to it, and I haven't used this one for a little while because I've been doing smaller stuff. Once you get into the pattern, the habit of it won't do it. So what we're going to do to start the row 1 is we're just going to single crochet in every stitch across from the second stitch. So we never ever count the one on our hook. It's not a completed stitch, so we don't count this one. So this one is 1, 2, we're going to single crochet into that stitch, and we're going to single crochet into every stitch all the way across. Now that's actually going to give us an odd number of stitches to work into, but because we're working into the turning chain in this particular case, which is what we don't ever normally do, then it still turns out to be an even number. Okay, I have to admit, this stitch is a little complicated, but once you understand how it works and where you've got to work into, you wait till you see what we've got to do. Oh my gosh. It's not something that you need to be afraid of. It is a little bit of a yarn eater because you're making those stars, but it will be, it's not as bad as, say, the waffle stitch. Okay, so did you know that there's lots of different stitch names, but there's only two that you really need to know. One is the single crochet, which is the one that we're doing here, and the other one is the double crochet. If you can do those 2 stitches, everything else is just a variation upon those, and you can make absolutely anything at all in crochet if you can do those 2 stitches. Okay, so I've just single crocheted all the way across. If it looks a bit curly, it's fine. Once we start putting stitches further up, it will work out, not a problem. And now we're going to the land of craziness. Here we go. Are you ready? We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And into the second chain from our hook, we're going to do half of a single crochet. Half a single crochet, you say? I've never heard of that. That's okay, me either, until I've learned how to do the star stitch. So we're going to work into our chain. We're going to go in, and we're only going to capture our yarn and pull it through. We're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to go in, capture our yarn and pull it through. We're going to flip our work, and we're going to go into our first stitch here, and we're going to capture our yarn and pull it through. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next 2 stitches of the row. We're going to go into the stitch and capture our yarn, and we're going to go into the next stitch and capture our yarn. We're going to have 6 stitches on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you have tight tension, you need to let go. Let it go, let it go. Sorry, carried away. Because we're going to wrap our yarn and we're going to pull through all 6 loops on our hook. Now, here's a couple of tricks to do that. The first thing that you need to do is you need to not be afraid to turn your hook. Okay, so turn your hook so it faces the floor, and make sure that you've got your yarn caught underneath it. Hold your work and pull up a little bit so all of your loops have got a little bit of a space, and we're going to pull through all 6 loops on your hook, and straight away we're going to do a chain, and that's the first part of our star. Okay, here's where things get winky wonky. If you pull your star apart a little bit, you can see that you've got a space. That's called the eye of the star. So what we're going to do is we're going to do half of a single crochet into the eye. So we're going to put our hook through, capture our yarn and pull it through. Here's the really wonky part. We're going to work into the in between these 2 stitches. So turn it sideways, you can see that there is a V there, and we're going to go in between those 2 stitches, and we're going to capture the yarn and pull it through. We're going to then go into the stitch that we've already worked in, and then we're going to half double crochet into those 2 stitches. So go into there and pull it through, half a single crochet into the next stitch. You'll have 6 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Capture your yarn, turn your hook to the floor, pull up a little bit so that you've got space in there to pull your hook through. Pull through all 6 loops on your hook and chain 1. Star number 2. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way across. So find your space, your eye of your star. We're going to go half a single crochet into there. Here's our winky wonky part. We're going to go into the in between those 2 stitches. So we're going to go in there. I find it really easy if I turn it and I look at the V part there and I know that I'm in the right space. So half a single crochet there. We're going to go into the stitch that we've already worked into. We're going to half a single crochet into that stitch there, and half a single crochet into the next stitch. 6 loops on our hook again, yarn over, turn our hook to the floor, pull up on our hook a little bit and come through all 6 and chain 1 straight away. Partial star number 3 done. Awesome. Okay, well, let's keep going. So into the eye of the star, capture our yarn and pull it through. Go in between those 2 stitches here. So find that V, go underneath both of those pieces of yarn. Okay, capture our yarn and pull it through. We're going to go into the stitch that we've already worked into, and we're going to half single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So hook through, capture our yarn, go into the next one, hook through, capture our yarn, 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull up and go through all 6, chain 1. Okay, now the good thing about this stitch is you can do it with any type of yarn. You can do it with single colour, you can do it with variegated colours, and because of the texture of it, you'll be able to see that the star pattern. So we've gone in between our 2 stitches. We're going to go into the stitch that we've already worked. We're going to half single crochet into the next stitch of our row and half single crochet into the next stitch of our row, which gives us 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, go through all 6, chain 1. I'm just going to pause here because I've got a bit of a yarn tangle coming. Back in a second. Okay, let's keep going. Now I've got my yarn under control. Maybe, we'll see what happens. Alright, so we're about to do our next star. So we're going to go into the eye of our last star. We're going to go into the eye, capture our yarn. In between those 2 stitches there, and capture our yarn. We're going to go into the stitch we've already worked, and we're going to go into the next 2 stitches, so half single crochet, so yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You've got 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull up and go through all 6 loops on your hook. Oh, I've got some ply caught. There we go. Chain 1. Alright, so we're nearly at the end of row 2. So we're going to do that again. Go into our eye. Go in between those 2 stitches. I think Maynard's running away with a bone. I'm going to go into the stitch we've already worked, and then into the next 2 stitches. So yarn through, capture our yarn, hook through, capture our yarn, 6 loops, yarn over, turn your hook, pull up and go through all 6, chain 1. Alright, we're nearly at the end of row number 2, which is great because then we can jump on and complete our stars in row number 3. Into the stitch we've already worked. Don't be afraid to, so that was a bit tight, so I'm just giving it a bit of a wriggle, pulling it up. We're going to go into this one, into the next one, 6 loops, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. And we've got 2 loops left, and again here's a winky wonky thing, and our turning chain. Now the turning chain is going to be hard to find on the ends, but that's what we're going to do the last stitch into. So let's do our last half a star. So we're going to go into the eye, in between those 2 stitches. Oh, I've got to be, yeah, into the stitch we've already worked, and then into the last 2. So 1 and 2. Now especially this one, this is going to be super fiddly, but we'll work it out. So, and chain 1. Okay, I'm just going to flip my page because I have my instructions here. Man, it was interesting trying to write out how to do this, seriously. And then 2 stitches left, and turning chain, complete the star and put that. So we're going to do a half a double crochet into this turning chain thing here somewhere. So it doesn't, it's difficult to find, but we're just going to, I'm going to work into this here. Okay, this first one in particular is difficult to find, so I'm going to we're going to do a half double crochet. So we have to put the yarn over our hook first, find where we're going to work. I'm going to reverse hook my hook to find a stitch somewhere here. We just need to find a little bit of something something. All right, I'm going to show you another sneaky trick. I have a smaller hook here. It's a size 4. You could do it with a yarn needle. I'm going to fight my way through, and I'm going to find myself a space. Okay, and because the hook is a smaller size, it's going to be easier to do. Okay, that is my turning chain that I'm going to work into. Give it a bit of a wriggle, and I'm going to put my hook back in that I'm using. I'm going to do my half double crochet. So yarn over, I'm going to go into that stitch, capture my yarn and pull it through, and I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that is going to be how we're going to end every row 2. Okay, so row 3. How cool does that look? What a great little pattern. Okay, so row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to single crochet into the top of our half double crochet. So there's my V. I know that's where my stitch is. I'm going to half double crochet into there. Oh, no, I'm not. Let's try again. Wrap your yarn first, half double crochet into your... Oh my goodness gracious me. Can we rewind? Let's rewind. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work into the top of our half double crochet. We're going to do a single crochet. Wow, that was hard, wasn't it? Sorry about that. Whoa, goodness gracious me. Now, in this row, row 3, all we're doing is working into the eye of our star. So just be careful that you're not working into here, because you just need to pull your work apart, and you can see that that little space there, this one right here, is our star. So we're going to, in the first one and in the first one only, oh look, I nearly missed it. That's the second one. We're going to do, here's the first one. Here's our first star. We're going to do 1 single crochet into that eye of the first one. It's only the first star that we're going to do that. Every other star, we're going to, here we go. So there's a star, there's a star. See how I've turned it over and I found, so that's where I've got to work into, which is right here. Every other one, we're going to put 2 single crochets into the eye. So into the eye of our star, 1 single crochet, go back into that eye, and we're going to do a second single crochet. And again, here's our next star. Here's the eye. We're going to do 2 single crochets into there as well. Now the back of this work looks different from the front. You can see that you can't really see the star pattern. Let's do this next one and I'll turn it over. So here's the eye. We're going to do 2 single crochets into that. 1 and 2. And it doesn't really look like anything, but when you turn it over, your stars are now completed. Aren't they cool? I love it. Okay, so let's go back, find the eye of your next one. Again, if you're not sure, turn it over, find your star, find your eye, because on this side, on the right side of the pattern, they're really quite easy to see. So find where you've got to go, turn it back, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into there. 1 and 2. And find the next eye, we're going to do 2 single crochets into there. 1 and 2. We're going to do 2 single crochets into here. 1 and 2. 2 into the next one. 1 and 2. And here's our last star. We're going to do 2 single crochets into that one as well. 1 and 2. And to finish off, we have to do a single crochet into the last stitch, and in this case it's going to be our turning stitch. So if you turn it over, we don't want to work into here because that's our star. So anywhere over this side here, find where a stitch could be, and we're going to single crochet into it. Okay, whoa, there's our first row of stars. Aren't they gorgeous? So even though this is a variegated yarn, you can still see the pattern, which is great. Sometimes the pattern is overtaken by the pattern of the yarn, and sometimes the yarn doesn't show up the pattern. So you have to make sure that you match your yarn to the pattern and the pattern to the yarn. But with this particular stitch, it doesn't really matter because you can see it so well. All right, so we're about to start our repeat. So this is row 4, which is just a repeat of row 2. So I'm just going to turn back and make sure that I am doing this correctly. All right, so I know that we have to start chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from our hook, just like we did the first time around. So yarn in, capture our yarn. That's half a single crochet. We're going to go into the next stitch, so the third chain, and we're going to half a single crochet into that one. Going to turn our work over, and into the first stitch of the row, we're going to half a single crochet into that one, and we're going half a single crochet into this next one, and also the next one. So we're going to end up again with 6 loops on our hook. Yarn over, turn your hook to the floor, pull up on your hook a little bit. It's a bit tricky on these end ones, but that's okay. And I'm going to pull through all 6, apparently, and chain 1. Okay, so we've started our next lot of stars. So we need to find the eye of our stitch. We're going to half single crochet into there. Here's a winky wonky part we're going to work into in between those 2 stitches. So yarn through and pull it through, half a single crochet. We're going to work into the stitch that we've already worked into, half a single crochet, and we're going to half single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's that one, capture our yarn and pull it through, and the next one, capture our yarn, pull it through, 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull it through, chain 1, and we're off and running again. I'm going to complete the next 2 rows with you, and then I'm going to leave you on your own. I'll do a few more rows. Now the really good thing about this is if you want to keep going, I actually might, because I really like this, you could make, so I've done 20, you could make that into a scarf. How awesome would that be? You could do 60 chain or 80 chain, depends on how many goes around your head. You could do a big rectangle of it, sew it up and cinch it at the top and make a beanie. How cool would that be? And then come back and make your ridge. You could make it wide enough that it could be a baby blanket, a single bed blanket, a queen size bed blanket, and it wouldn't matter. You can make this as big or as small as you want. It's such an awesome pattern. Like I said, it's a bit daunting to start with, but once you sort of understand what you have to work into, and especially the end turning chains, that's the part that is, for me, that's the hardest part. Everything else I can get that pattern down. I'm quite comfortable doing that, but finding the turning chain to work into, that for me, that's a little bit, that's my bugbear. But I'm determined I'm going to get better at this because I really do like the effect that the stitches have on the finished product. So we're just going to work to the end, and then we'll see what it looks like, 2 finished rows. Chain 1, okay, into our eye, in between our 2 stitches, into the stitch we've already worked, and into the next 2, 1 and 2, 6 on our hook, yarn over and chain, back into the eye, in between, into the stitch we've already worked, and into the next 2, 1 and 2, and single crochet. Okay, we're nearly at the end. You know you're right because you've got 2 stitches left, and then we're going to work into this turning chain here somewhere. So into the eye, in between the 2 stitches, into the stitch we've already worked, and into the next 2. 1 and 2. Yarn over through all 6 and a chain, and then we're going to single crochet. Are we? It's half double, isn't it? Yep, half double crochet. So make sure we've worked in this one. We need to find a space over here somewhere. So yarn over, find something you can work into. That's our stitch there. Just find something that we can do our turning chain. There we go. So we've got 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's our stitch. That's going to be straight. Not sure what's going on down here, but I'm sure that we can work it out. Okay, round 3, row 3. We're going to, I've been doing lots of circle things, so I'm into the round mode. All right, so chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to do a single crochet into the top of our half double. We're going to open up, find our eye, and we're going to single crochet into the first one, and then every eye we're going to work into for the rest of the row is going to be 2 single crochets into the eye. Again, if you're not sure if you can find it, turn it over, find your star, there's your eye, know where you've got to work into. So mine's here, so I'm going to do 2 single crochet into there to finish off my star pattern. Jump over to the next one, 2 single crochet, jump over to the next one, 2 single crochet. Now you can see when you're working on the wrong side that that star pattern definitely doesn't show. Okay, it does have some nice ridging on the back, but it's not as jazzy as what's on the front. Just make sure you don't get confused and go into the top of the stitches here. Make sure you find that eye. 1 and 2. Find the next one. 1 and 2. Find the next one. 1 and 2. Here's the next one. 1 and 2. Find that last one. There it is. 1 and 2. Now be careful that you don't work into the top of your last part of the star. We're going to have to find somewhere over on the side over here to do a single crochet into. Make sure it's not the last stitch. So this bit here is the stitch of your star. We really want to go over here to our turning chain, and we're going to single crochet. Okay, let's flip her over to the front. Look at that. How cool is that pattern? That is awesome. I love it. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to continue with this. I think I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with this corner here. Maybe if I put a border around it, it might bring it back out. Might give it a bit of a stretch. Oh no, here she comes. She's fine. I'm going to keep going, see if I can maybe use some of the, get to some of these other colors. That would be an awesome scarf. It would be lovely and warm, especially in this mandala, this mandala ombre. That's it from me today. Please let me know down below if you think that you could make this, or if you've done it before. Do you have any tips and tricks on how to do this star stitch? What would you make out of it? Again, you could make anything, a scarf, a beanie, a blanket of any description, any size. How cool would that be for the front for a cardigan? Ooh, I've got ideas. All right, but that's it for me today. Thank you so very, very much for joining me, and I will catch you next time. Bye.